Go ahead and call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to presentations, proclamations, and visitors. Is there anyone online?
Nope.
Okay. We have Deanna Cox, Corn Festival Princess Coordinator here.
Deanna Cox, 126 Carmel. I'm the director of the Cornfest Princesses. And I just wanted to let the council know this weekend we had our interviews. We had 10 signed up, 9 girls showed up, and we picked the 4 winners. And I'd like to tell you who they are. We have 11-year-old girl named Aaliyah as a junior princess. And a little girl, she's 8, her name's Ari, as a junior princess. And then we have Emma, who her mom is the manager of G3 Pizza. She's one of our princesses this year. And then we have Charlotte Beatty, who her sister Emily was one of the princesses this year. They're the 2 princesses. And in honor of, this is our 5th year of having the princesses. And in honor of that, we have asked Kendall Burning. A lot of you know who Kendall is. She's been in the community all of her life. She's volunteered for lots of things. We asked her to be our 5th princess and to be our honorary princess. So Kendall is going to be joining the princesses this year. Any questions?
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Sure, I'll move to approve the consent.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes. Moving on to public hearing. There is no public hearing. There is no old business. Moving on to new business, item 6A. Agenda, let's see, Heiberger Park exercise and playground equipment. We have Matt.
Good evening, Matt Etzel, Assistant Public Works Director. Before council are the signed contracts from Park and Play. They were the ones that we awarded last council meeting, the Heiberger Park playground equipment proposals. So nothing's changed. Just these contracts are ready for your guys' review and approval. They have all the bonding information. Westex approved them and reviewed them and approved them. So happy to answer any questions.
I don't have any questions.
Yeah, I think the timeline that they gave us is they were hoping to be done by the end of the year, but that depends on weather probably, because we are doing the surfacing instead of like wood chips or whatever underneath the playground. So I imagine that has to have some good weather and certain temperatures to cure and that sort of thing. So depending on weather, yeah.
Like to move to approve the Park and Play proposal in the amount of $210,899 from Park Site Improvement Fund 015-811 as presented by staff.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda 6B, City Fuel Station.
All right, before council tonight are a couple proposals from different contractors. As council's aware, we are putting a fueling station in at Public Works. This will serve our Public Works Department and our Police Department. It's on a backup power generator. and will be a good resource if there's ever an emergency in the community. We'll be able to rely on this fueling system. We've added capacity, so the new gasoline tank is 2,500 gallons, which police department uses about 300 gallons a month, and we use about 250 gallons a month. So that gives us several months of storage capacity in the event of an emergency and not able to get fuel. It also increased our diesel and our non-ethanol, which we use non-ethanol for small equipment and diesel for a couple of our pieces of equipment and then our generators throughout town. So it's a card lock reader system. So each person has an identification number. They'll enter that, and that's how we'll get fuel. And the police department currently, I think, is using a card lock system in Staten. So they'll be able to come and fuel up at our public works whenever they need to. Part of this project has been delayed through some approval processes through the fire marshal's office. And so it kind of bumped it into the next fiscal year. And our goal kind of all along was to pave the driveways leading to the fueling station. We had to, as part of the original contracts that you guys approved, there was a concrete slab. You have to fuel on concrete. That's a rule from the fire marshal's office, but the rest of it, we just had gravel. And our intent was to pave it, but it was a pretty big chunk of money. Now that the new fiscal years come, we feel comfortable, going ahead and moving forward with the paving and kind of completing the project. So went out and got a couple proposals for paving. These proposals include prevailing wage, since it's all part of those original projects. So this is in addition to that. So all the proposals include prevailing wage, and yeah, happy to answer any questions.
It was just these little blue areas that are penciled in.
Yeah, so behind our current wastewater pump station is where we put the fueling station. The original contract with Canyon was to dig all that out, put a base in, put rock in. And so we have all the base and rock and everything in. They're just gonna come in and put asphalt on top. And
So this is gonna be the primary fueling station for all emergency vehicles, correct? Not just a storage?
right, it'll be for all police vehicles and all public works vehicles. Fire departments, they're different, they're a fire district. So we're not trying to,
I just don't want to
We're-
see like several thousand gallons of fuel being stored for emergencies and it degrades over time.
yeah, and that
that's
was
where my
part of
question
the,
is.
when we did the project, we kind of tried to size that tank so it wasn't gonna get old, and we'll work with the fueling company. It's a different company than what we have used in the past. It's Prougham Co-op is now gonna be providing the fuel. And I was talking to Ron earlier, they've been great to work with. They said, hey, fuel prices went up. We're not gonna fill them all the way because fuel prices went up. They're gonna come back down, but we're only gonna put enough in to make sure that we get you guys going and get everything calibrated and tested. And then we'll come and fill up, as you guys need it. So.
And we don't have to fill the tanks up to their
Right.
capacity. That just gives us that additional storage. Our goal is to keep at least 500 gallons in reserve all the time. And as we use it, we'll be able to adjust where our use.
Yeah.
kind of goes.
So my only concern was, is it just being stored for emergencies?
Yeah.
Because
No,
fuel degrades over
yeah,
time.
no, this will be for our normal operation.
Cool.
Yes, public works and police normal operation.
That answers my
Yep.
question. Thank you.
So what's the other outlined area over there on the side? There's like one that's like right on, is that the fuel pump?
One's in
Pump's
and
right
one's
here.
out.
Yeah, the pumps are in the middle of that area. That part is the concrete pad that's already poured. So we don't need to do anything in that
They just don't
area.
go in here, okay.
Yeah,
You've used the canyon before, right?
we did. And they
It's way
provided
higher.
they provided the proposal for, or they did the work, the underground work and the concrete work. I think they're a little bit busy, so their price was a
it's
little
quite
bit
higher.
more. But we went out and got a couple bids. They provided a change order, and then we decided to go get a couple more prices because of the cost, and we wanted to make sure we were,
Yeah, they're like 40% higher.
yeah. And I think probably H&H probably would have done the work for Canyon anyway. So,
Oh, I
yeah.
gotcha. Looks good.
Is there any further questions or discussion? Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll move to approve the H&H paving. Public Works Equipment Fund. 016 as presented by.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
From the Public Works Equipment Fund, not for.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to number 7.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me, city administrator report. I was trying to hold it in, sorry, guys.
So council, I'm just going to touch on one or two things, and if you have any questions about anything in my report, I'm happy to answer those. Just to update council on what's been happening with our software conversion, I guess is the big issue. I did a couple of public posts today about it just to keep people updated. Basically, our intent was that there would be a seamless transition, but one of the vendors, programmers, disconnected the link to our electronic payment software. And apparently to reconnect that is a bigger deal than we thought it was going to be. It requires them to reprogram a whole bunch of stuff. So in the meantime, we were just like told this last Friday. There was no pre-notice. Apparently it wasn't something that was planned. What was planned was that new account numbers would be generated, and then those accounts would become ghost accounts and the old account numbers would transfer over. So nobody really saw a difference. We have to have different account numbers because we have a different software company. But that transition is what apparently didn't work out the way it was supposed to. Staff and I got together on Monday and we started to basically manually enter in everybody's accounts, and we were basically going to manually enter in all the accounts into the payments portal, and then manually enter in all the payments that were made into the financial software. A lot more work for staff, but we thought we could manage it. And then the company said, we've got a programmer that can put this together so you guys don't have to do that. And so we've been waiting for that programmer to finish their work. It's taking longer than we anticipated and they anticipated. So I think we're going to go back just to manually entering all those, so we're ready to go if their work fails. So that's kind of our plan internally. This month, we're just simply kind of stuck with the paper ballots and no credit card transactions. Most of our customers have been very understanding. They've been coming into the counter. A couple of people are upset, but for the most part, people have just been going with the transition. Happy to answer any questions or.
So I have a question concerning that, and it's not a hateful question. So for those that don't really look at their water bills, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I found out through my neighbor about the whole hiccup on the auto pay. So if a customer they didn't receive any notice or whatever,
Yeah.
are we going to shut their water off?
No.
Or are we gonna like have okay, this happened, sorry, you don't look at your water bill?
Most people are noticing, but I understand that that's probably a scenario that will occur at some point with some of our customers. So our plan is when we get to past the late period, we'll take their remaining customers and we'll start contacting them individually. But that is our plan. We're not going to leave people hanging. You know, those folks aren't going to get assessed a late fee. We'll end up just voiding those, but we'll start working with people towards the end of the week and the first part of next week. Disconnection doesn't occur until think it's the 23rd-ish, it's the 20-ish. We'll notice everybody, we'll make sure that we contact them personally. We typically don't do that, but this is an unusual case. So we'll do that. And I said in my post, we'll work with each person individually to make sure that we can accommodate folks the best we can. It's one of those things where we had a plan due to no fault of anything we did, it didn't work out. And I said to staff, I've been through a few software conversions and you always think everything's lined up, but there's always something that occurs and it's just unexpected. And this wasn't what I expected. I expected to be, internal things that just didn't populate right. The software is working really good. It's very user friendly. Our staff are really liking it, but getting through this transition and it just gets us over the hump. We looked at other payment credit card providing companies. The problem with it is all of those companies want a lot more fees that then get charged to the customer. So early on, our particular provider, because we've been with them so long, we're considered a legacy account. So they keep the fees kind of where they've been. That doesn't mean they can't change them, but they haven't changed them. And if we were to sign up even to that company, it would be probably $3 or $4 more for a credit card transaction for a utility account. So it could go from like $295 to $695. And we didn't want to add that extra burden to the customer. So we were working with them to do the transition. It just didn't happen as seamlessly as we expected. So we did look at some other vendors that could get us up and running quicker to do credit card accounts, but it was the same thing. It's going to cost more. We'd have to have all of the customers re-sign up to a new account, and then they'd pay more. And then those that wanted to go back to the old account would have to re-sign up to the old account. And that's just too much transition. And there wasn't a good answer, but the best answer was do the paper bills for a month, try to get everything restored so the old accounts work. And if that doesn't work at some point, we'll regroup. But we think we can manually make that patch. It's just, it's a bit of data entry, and with dealing with the customers, the payments and everything that's going on, it's not something we can do in just a day or two. It's a couple of weeks worth of work. So
It's a mess.
yeah,
It's a mess.
and I actually am really our community has just been great. They understand it, and for the most part, people have been, oh, okay, well, let me go get that. and they've been coming in, and they haven't really made it extremely tough on staff.
Anything else? All right. Moving on to mayor and councilor reports. Does anyone have anything to report? I am going to be out of state right after the LOC conference. In fact, I'm flying out that day after the conference, and I won't be back until the 10th. So there's no city council, but I won't be in. Anything for good of the order? Nothing? Okay. We have no correspondence and no executive session, so we can go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 7:19 p.m.